So we'll watch. So it'd be nice if that would break for us. So I can show you that tool. It's a nice tool. A little bit of pilot error there. I'm getting used to it. Eric Anthony, good. Everybody's good there. All right, I'm not paying attention. So gold got a little breakout. You got a possible C setting up in gold. I got a 19.6, so I'm on an 18.6. Oh, short-lived trip outside of the IB for the YM. Looks like all it did was go and get a target. Right, all it did was just go from this 50 to get that target. Got a golden. So the next one's right here, so you can't buy that. That's the one I tell you guys to be careful of, right? You think, oh, we're breaking, and you're right into that golden zone. You gotta wait for that. Speak from experience on that one. Okay, so still have a gold, a possible C setting up in gold. You don't have a shitload of room, but you might be able to make it to there's a golden zone at VWAP. You might be able to make that. You got to get through the 50 and the pre-market mid on the way. So we're gonna hold here, right? So it looks like, right, all we did. So you're kind of in the, I mean, this is what we want, right? This kind of nice. We're well outside of the chop zone. We're trending, right? So now we're in the chop zone, in the IB. Oh, we must be doing a live stream. Okay, there's a C. Let's take it. There's a C in the RTY. Just for I'm a little late on it. We'll see if we'll get any follow through on that. So I'm going to put, so under the C's, right? I do it the same way Baby Whales does. Whenever the C fires, I just put the pivot. I put the stop right under the pivot. So there's the C, there's the pivot. So small amount of risk. Let's see if we can get a move to the pivot. So this is ambitious because we're going to bump our heads here if it even gets there. So you're not quite there yet. So I'm working purely off of the wicked wave. So so you can see, so it's going to be, the challenge will be here, can it get through this high right here? If it gets through that, then this is probably pretty safe. But that will be the resistance. So it's always the levels, right? The sellers there are going to want to try and push it down. You got a possible C about to fire here. Let's see, 40 in the YN or the NQ. Oh, 46.14, 46.16. So you guys see that. So you have a nice setup here where potentially this fires the C. This, we're back into the Bollinger Bands. You want that to come back out, so we ride the edge. Sellers are in control. Here we just need the next, we need a deeper histogram, and that'll fire. RTY's not going anywhere. So here comes the challenge to this golden zone. Watch that NQ. That, of course, the NQ, you're going to have to get through the IB low, which will be a fight. But if that fires, we'll take it. Typically don't like to be long the RTY and short the NQ, but that's kind of what the indicators are telling us. Let's see. What else? What's going on? Oh, fuck. How's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin hit 9,500 to the tick. Now we got a little sell-off. Okay, RTY back to entry. I'd rather, like I said, I don't like to be long one, short the other. You can end up just washing out. I'd rather the NQ not fire the sell, is what I'm basically saying. Gold, possible C getting ready to fire, and the edge is just on the edge of the Bollinger Bands. Which would make you think perhaps, well, no, that's if that fires, you don't have a lot of room. So far, right what you'd anticipate. So where can I get? So I don't have. Just so you see where I am here. This is saying no. Don't be a buyer. Still in the chop zone. Still in the IB. So going for that is. This is saying no. Well, you're neutral, right? You're neutral. You're in the Bollinger Bands. Approach. You're white here, right? So a lack of any significant control between buyers and sellers. Anybody else got some trades going today? Anybody got a few that are running, rolling? Anyone have a good morning? Catch that gold sell-off? That was rather dramatic sell-off in gold off of that report. Get the market. When bad news is good news, you're through the looking glass. And it's just, they're back to buying the dip. Plus, we did do a 5 on the way up off of the low, so it's hard not to think that that's, amazingly, hard not to think that that's a 1. You're up 38. Nice, Maxis. Short Dow this morning, EU session. Good job. Boy, that sell-off in gold, though. Shit, where did we go? 1733. So I guess we went about 30 points. 30 points in gold used to be, holy shit, 30 points. Now it's only 30. But look here, I mean, that's pretty. Who wants to bet? What we got there? All right, to the 50. VWAP right in the golden zone. Okay, so there's. All right, so it's hard not to like that. So that would be a perfect scalping kind of trade, because if it's going to go up there, remember it's going to be screaming higher, right? So it's hard to do it. But you got, if you tip front here, well, let's look at it. So if you from here to the other side, give it a few ticks. So that's 15 ticks. So very sure you can do that with a micro. What else is there? Okay, so this is not insignificant. All right, and that seems to be what we bumped into. This low. It's not really much. I mean, we're just in a big. All right, just out of curiosity. Well, there's the 100 hitting there. That looks like that from this low. 50. They missed it there. They ran into yesterday's high, so you can see what they ran into. So you go, why doesn't it get there? That's what they ran into. Right, and that became the pre-market high, right? So it's always good to look through this, looking for where's the obvious. What am I missing? Right, so this seems to be, so just looking left here, and that's right what we ran into. Now look where we're headed here. So that golden zone is right here. So if we get, that's the line I just drew. So if we get through that, right? So this is about to fire actually. But shit, again, so there's the problem, right? So how much is it worth taking the risk to try and get? Well, here's you got 30 ticks. I suppose if this fires and this fires at the same time, you got to take it. See if you can get be a micro scalp. You know, if you could get 30 ticks in 2 contracts, you get $60. Nothing wrong with that. So this first attempt here, right, it went after to get that high, and they rejected it. We'll let that roll. There's no, other than the edge is back in the Bollinger Bands. Oh, we actually never did fire there. So just working off the C, so I'll just let that ride. We got a little support down lower. Yeah, let's put it, that comes back. Alright, so curse of the bloody live stream again. Okay, so we just had a C fire in the YM that's a short. Where's the tick? Ah, shit. So tick's too low. So you can't, and it's right into a golden zone, so you can't take that. All right, you see this just fired. Here's the C. The low ticks, you got a 50 here and a golden zone here and then a golden zone here, so there's no, you can't sell into low ticks. So maybe now a little retrace here and it goes again, but so here this one's giving you the C, this one's saying, oh, not so fast. And then down here, who's in control? So it looks, so there's the classic problem. So what you need is this. You need threes. This looks like it wants to go. This being a nice test here, so shit, 11. When do we start? 10:30. Okay. So now let's often you can just kind of read the day here. Pretty typical. The extreme being 600 down here, so about the same extremes. Really not telling you a whole lot, just than typical kind of range-bound day, right? So we're so spoiled of late. You guys are getting spoiled. We don't usually get this kind of volatility where every day is trending. It's unusual to have it. This is a more typical day. It's an Elliott. Is it? Oh no, Guido. Hey Guido, how's it going, man? No, the C is a continuation. It's tied to the wicked wave. Oh, so I haven't seen you for a couple of days. So I don't know if you've seen, so we've got the wicked wave here and the devil's edge here and then the devil's pitch here. I don't know if you've seen these yet, but that C is a continuation. The C means we had a rising. So this is the RSI. We had a rising histogram and then it fell, so it triggers the 2 white bars. Then when it starts to rise again, you get the C for continuation here. And then the edge is where on the outer edge of when we get outside of the Bollinger Band, that's triggering that green arrow there. It didn't have long to go, right? It's just bumped into the, well, what did we bump into? That's the one where we bumped into the pivot, right? There's the pivot point right there. Right, so broke the IB to tag the pivot. Now we come back down. This is more your typical day. Well, so I wasn't paying attention. That gold C did fire. But all it did was go right into that golden zone. So it didn't get too far. Let's keep you down here. Still have that RTY trade. It's just sitting at break even. Sitting right where I got into it. But good, right? So the YM did not fire that sell because you don't typically want to be short the RTY and the opposite in the NQ. So the NQ just fired a buy off of the edge. Oh, so this is an interesting conundrum, right? So this is kind of what we're after. You got to make a decision here. So I've got a buy here as I'm crossing 0. So there's the trigger, but I'm not there yet. So the ideal trade, you got them both going the same, or both telling you the same thing. So you could look at this and say, okay, the RSI has crossed the average, so that's bullish in conjunction with this, in conjunction with the wave. Kind of a trader's choice here. If it breaks, where are they going? Right? If it breaks, they're going right here, right to VWAP. That's the one I would wait for. All right, so this is getting a little traction. All right, so the C here is firing. Now let's see if we can get to VWAP. This is hopeful. You're likely to bounce there. But again, so what's the point of that? Building confidence here. Now, we're not there yet, so this would be a nice kick to get that in. This is good. We're green here, but I'm not outside of the Bollinger Bands yet. That's more confirmation. In fact, if that fires, that'd be a reasonable place to add one, because you're likely not to get too much further than VWAP there. So if that fires, I would add another, just a single there. We got to get these to you, Guido. So you got, well, the NQ, or pardon me, yeah, let's take it. So the Devil's Edge just fired a buy in the YM. So I might take that, see if we can get out, since we've already been out of the IB once. Maybe we can get up towards the pivot, right? So we'd have another run at VWAP. Very, very tight stop. I'm just giving it to the oh shit. I mean, it's maybe $13 a contract. So, oh Jesus. So look what, right, guys, it never changes. Right? Until they change this algorithm, nothing changes. So what do? Right into the golden zone. So the scalp's already come and gone. Just trying. So I get, all right, so you can just, so what do we get here? Double top. All right, that was the hurdle it had to get through because they were going to be defending there. May not. Let's see if the IB holds, because you've got the structure here coming across. So this was the hurdle. Now this hopefully is the support. Where's the tick? Low ticks. Well, let's see. Let's give this a little bit more under that golden zone. Give that room to breathe. That's not a lot of risk. And now I need the IB to hold in the RTY after getting off to a good start. Crude stuck in its IB. So I got pretty much everybody back in their IBs. Gold first attempt ran into that golden zone, so it's not surprising that failed. Although it got 17 ticks out of it. God damn, the curse of the live stream continues. Anybody got a trade on right now? Dying to reach VWAP. Yeah, I know, right? So they're, but look, so that's kind of that's, you don't want that, right? So VWAP is right here at the IB high with a 50 and a golden zone above it. So your best case, the max you'd have there to run, is that. That's all you got there before you're going to hit some pretty stiff resistance. So that, well, 35 ticks. Yeah. Trying to reach VWAP every day. That's the market always wants to get VWAP. Probably that and the IB are the two most important levels on the chart. Then the pivot. Kind of feels like the market's resting a little bit today. Where are we on the day? Well, the Dow is down 260, so that's not really resting, but compared to our typical volatility, that's a quiet day. Bitcoin's still up 95. Looks like it's just putting in a 4. So, little vol, what's that about? I got here, so all of a sudden things are something just spooked the market a little bit. Everything just started to pull back. What are we doing over here? Looks like there's more distance over here because these are such big bars. 15.5 is the right bar size. Well, let's see. What do you think that is? That's the golden zone, right, that we drew up. Golden zone. Same shit every day. Exactly the same. Well, it's just over and over again. But this is probably another. That looks like a 50. Right, let's see if we got. That would have broken from the top. There it is. Right, 50. There's the target. So this is going to try again at that pivot. We can put a little. So if it gets through, then this is pretty much high probability. You do have the central pivot right there, but we gotta get through that. So this is good. This is good. This still one more to fire there. I would add one there. Now that should trigger an alert for me. I think I've got that. So look here, rejected again, right? So they're defending that. The sellers don't want that to break. Didn't get it here, but you're clearly riding a C there. Didn't get much on that YM, although it's still. Swear to God, curse of the live stream. How to slow the market down. All right, let's see. I lost the Discord. Let's get over here. This just okay. Good. This is just. Oh. This is just broke as fuck. Okay, Monty, I was looking at. Yeah, that was off for me the other day too. I was waiting, going. It says there's nobody here. Let's see. I got. Okay, so that's a failure swing. That's going to be not good for my little YM trade, although we're only 3 ticks off the entry. RTY, just we can't. Oh, we're going to try again. Let's see if we can get through that. Would like to see that thing fire. Okay, let's check 3311. So I'm actually on the wrong 3311 in the RTY. Still says stay long. They can't get through that. Jesus, I'm looking across the board. Every single asset we trade is inside of its IB. Nope, I take that back. RTY is out. Everybody else in their IB. Which means, based on our history here, oh, there goes crude breaking out, that as soon as we get to the afternoon, should be good trading. Third try at that, they can't get through. There it is. So we got through here, so I added one. This is the first one. I'll leave the other two up here. So see if we get legs out of that. So here's the C, here's the continuation. That's this. The arrow is this firing as we get beyond the Bollinger Band. So the edge supports it. Ticks, right? One tick off of that. So we ran into the central pivot before we got to VWAP. Levels after levels after levels. So we could tighten that stop up to under the IB. Well, let's see here. What else we got? Okay, so that's negative, right? So look what I just spotted here. So this is a perfect 100, right? So this here to this, there's the 100, right? So that's a negative here. So that could be all they're going to get out of that. That's a shame. All right, went from a $48 winner to $41 loser. Not out of it yet, but that's. Let's see if that IB holds. Yeah, let's go into that C. That could be all she wrote. That's kind of that. Climb the rope, ring the bell at the top. That's kind of what they do when they hit VWAP. If they want to take it down, that's the green light to sell it if that's the intention. Of course, this is every indicator is saying be long. What is this saying? This is saying coming back down. Well, this has been tested once, so it's different, right? So the fact that so don't mistake the two here. So the fact that we go, oh, come here, oh shit. No, I don't have that. I like that thing. Maybe, well, this would be a good thing to have on ours. This little shortcut bar has this, which I like. So this, see the fact that we've come up here and now done golden zone, right? It's not as solid to come up here, golden zone, fail to get target, and then come to the 50. Not as strong a signal, right? It's the first, really the trade is on the first test of it. I want you off. Here we go. Okay, so we're still in the chop zone, and we're still in the IB. And we're right smack dab in the middle of the Bollinger Bands. So no trade here. Oh, now I'm gonna hope the IB holds on that RTY trade. After missing my fill by a tick, it happens, right? Get used to it. It's very common, especially when you're trying to you're trying to trade with that kind of precision. There goes the IB. Well, it's getting tested. So the negatives here. So now we've gone back to white. We're still good here. This could actually fire another C, but now we're back in the Bollinger Band. So that's the negative after. It looks to me like that's all this move is going to have. So that's in danger now. There's a golden zone there, but that's the only thing I got left to hold it. Yeah, looks like this move is over. Rover everywhere I look. So you had a bunch of threes. You can really see it in the. Here, I'm going to reverse that. So you got a big reversal in the YM. So I went the other direction here. Let's see, trying to get to the golden zone. Because I'm about to get stopped on that RTY. Now where's the tick? 654. So we got to take that. You can't ride a short. I wouldn't ride a. See, look how quickly it's back. You get to that, anything past 600, you pretty much, unless you've got something where you've already got a lot of distance. Look how quickly that's back. You can't give that too much room. So that offsets. Well, we've still got the RTY, but offsets any potential damage there. And you got it. Oh, so here. So here's all I did. When this failed, as soon as that went the opposite direction, I actually did 4 there, right off of this. This all. So now it's potentially sets up. So the trade is not to take this, because that's right when I damn near got the tick low, because this is right in front of you. Right, so you got to be mindful of that. So you pretty much have to wait for this now. Which would set up the C, the continuation trade. Oh, I got spared my stop on the RTY by a tick or two. Does that mean you agree with the count? You're going to pull a huge short with me? Oh, sorry guys, that's Fast Ref. I like this short. Well, I think you've likely got a 1. Well, let's see what we do here. I think we've got a 1 in the ES. I like that better than the NQ. I don't like the short in the NQ as much. If Fast Ref is on here or not. Hey Sam, maybe you have talked about it, but I asked some short comments but can I ask you some short on the CL meltdown? Oh sure, Guido, sure. Well, shit, it's not melting down now. That's the only thing that just broke up. Just hitting a measured move target right now. Sorry, Guido. When I switch over to the Discord, I lose the chat here. I want the chat to be on the site, so I don't have to go to a different place. Maxie's, well, the NQ has its own tick, but no, that would be coincidental if it's in sync with the New York Stock Exchange tick, which is what this is, right? This is the NYSE. But oh shit, I think I have it up here. Yeah, there it is. So there's the NQ. Now it has different parameters here. So it's really from 800 to 1,000. You want to look for oversold. So I've got 800 and 1,000 marked off here. Here's the 0 line. I'm still getting used to it, right? It's relatively new. Yeah, talking about the negative value. Is that what you mean, Guido? About how does it go negative? Is that what you mean, Guido? First time I've ever seen it go negative. Yeah, well, it's never happened before. So why? How does that happen? Well, it's partly a function of the way delivery works in the futures contract. So remember, futures. The whole point of the futures contracts originally it was for the commercial interests to hedge their exposure, and speculators come in. They provide liquidity. That's the right. But the purpose of the futures markets is for commercial interests to hedge, and speculators just come in to see if they can play the profit potential. Hang on a second here. I'm watching this trade. Oh, it's close. So how does it go negative? Because it would cost them more to take delivery and store it. So they literally will pay you to take it off their hands so that they don't have to incur the cost of storing oil. And think about what's involved in storing oil. Right? Not expensive to deal with that mess. So that's what was happening there, and it was all tied to the expiration of the May contract, and those people that are taking delivery, they don't want it. Which is why you had the disparity between what was happening in May and then the June contract, which was 11 or 12 bucks at the time. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand how that happens? Right, it's all about the cost to store it. Now, if you can sell it at 60 bucks a barrel, then you'll take it all day long. All right, you store it, sell it. But that was a first. You've never seen that before. Certainly not in crude. Well, this is interesting. So here we're looking at the 15-minute. We just tagged this 50. So we're kind of in a rut here. Right? It's deceptive, right? So here this looks like such a little move, whereas here it looks so much bigger. But that's the IB high. That's the IB high. That's that. Right? Look at the difference, right, to your eye. It's a mixed blessing with Renko bars. These are big bars, 15.5. So we're back. So here, look. So it's a golden zone here, and it's a 50 here. Well, let's watch this. This is okay. So this is just the kind of shit that'll kill a Renko bar trader. This is not good trading for us. But note here, in the chop zone, look, we're just back inside one standard deviation here. So we don't have trend. Why? You just look at the chart, right? This is Renko death zone, all of this, because you don't get any trend. There's nothing moves far enough. So you're in that and you're thinking, okay, here we go, but it doesn't go far enough. So then you just go, all right, well, I'll just let the stop run, and you're just getting stopped out here. Now you're thinking, oh, maybe it's time to be a buyer because this was a golden zone. We don't get any traction here. Now you're back in all of this. This kills Renko traders right there. So how do we filter that? Okay, well, best way we've come up with it is right there. All right, so look at that. Same thing here in the Bollinger Bands, but this is really in your face as compared to this. That's what we wait for. Right? You think, oh God, but well, look when it comes. If you have to wait all day to get one move like that, well, how many C's did you have in there? It's 1, 2, 3, 3 times to add to that. And here, right, in the edge, you get, well, see, here's the advantage of the edge. It's going to get you in early. Oh shit, well, you had 2 little C's here, but you're in the chop zone. Now this, right? Do you see the arrow? Leads me in. So note the difference between the two indicators. This is saying get short now, right now, right? The wave is saying, okay, well, maybe we've got a trend getting started. Let's wait for the retracement and then we'll go. And here, right, those 2 arrows are these 2 saying continuation, continue. So this whole move here, well, shit, you're done. You're done for the day right there. If you catch that, right, adding on the way, thanks. You guys enjoy the day, because I'm done now. And look, we right into Divergence. So here's Divergence running on the histogram. Do you get divergence? Yeah, it's subtle, but it's there. And look what we do. Whoa, fuck. Gold didn't cooperate. And now we're back, so that C is canceled. So we're back in the IB. But you could fire again. Well, you wouldn't get a C now. You'd just get an X because it's back under the RSI. Curse of the live stream continues. What are the plus minus on the way? Well, that so the good question, as I was just talking about that wallet. So we are educated look at it based on just looking back through the chart history. So when we stay within the plus or minus 5, you tend to have ranging markets. So shit, just took the stop in the RTY. So you see what happened there, right? So went up one tick. So just one tick from getting one of them out. Now here's the retrace. My stop was under that golden zone. That's how close, right? Between a winner and a loser, it's one tick. Welcome to trading. I kind of knew I was in trouble when I spotted that 100. Oh, come on. Okay, so now we've got potential for all of this to start heading lower. So here's the wallet. So here we have a sell signal firing here, but we're in the chop zone via the wave. So it's really a judgment call. But right now, considering we've been in Renko death zone all morning, do you want to take that trade? I don't. I want us to get. I want this. This it's a crapshoot, right? You could easily look already. So what do we do? If I get it right on that, just right back to the golden zone, right? So we know where support is. Right, it's the second test. Well, they tested it here again. This was from a different pivot, but interesting, right? So we know clearly where they're defending. That's defense. Chop. I think one of the ideas that we were kind of playing around with Baby Whale and I as we're looking to how to refine this is that we might put this into an oscillator format. So we'd have, so he'll know what I mean. But if we run it through a Z-score, so we can have potentially overbought, oversold on this, I think could be interesting. And then it's what to do with our zero line, since that's opened up to us as to what to do. Now here, red, red, red. So these are all saying, well, you don't want to be a buyer. We just tagged a golden zone, though. So you got mixed messages here. So what are we doing here? Just chopping. This is what you would anticipate yesterday. That's why we didn't, part of the reason why we didn't do the live stream yesterday, because I thought it'd be like this all day leading up to the Fed. No such, that's not what they were thinking yesterday. So is today just the digesting of the Fed? You know? It's hard to fight the Fed, right? You just don't want to do it. So here's the YM on a tick chart, just doing the same thing, right? Just there's the golden zone. So this to here, right? So there's the golden zone at the IB mid. Target, oh, that's a big, well, that's got to be this one. It's this one. Here's the target. Well, so what do you potentially have there, right? Golden corner. Mixed signal. Let's see how that plays throughout the course of the day. All right, what happened to my RTY? Are we changing trends here? Oh, come on, Ninja. Ninja does this every now and then. My RTY chart is locked up. All right, we'll have to wait on that. So no RTY until that decides not to lock. So pretty good move here in gold after hitting that golden zone. So where are we going next? Well, likely the next golden zone. Shit, that's a shame, right? So you've got signals firing in the YM here, but you're not through that golden zone that we just drew up. If that breaks, then you're gonna get multiple signals firing here, potentially pull us out of the chop zone. God damn it. What are we on time? So, I swear to God, these live streams are just unbelievable. Maybe the high tick worth it. 50 at IB, high at M2K. My M2K. Well, hey, Eric. So I just wanted to be sure. Okay, it's Eric. So the tick doesn't affect the RTY either. Just to be sure you're aware of that. It's only the YM and the ES. My RTY chart is locked up for some reason. Every now and then when I try and... Shit, where is it? Yeah, it's locked up. Won't open. Nope, it won't open. It's locked up. Ninja does that every now and then. Well, I feel like I killed the day here. We were trending nicely until we started here. Everybody's back in their IBs, except for CL. Okay, there we go. I got RTY unlocked. So let's get this over here. So now okay, so here comes the test. Now look at the ticks. Right, minus 583. So they're going to take a run at that, but you can't sell that. But potentially, you can have, if we get some traction here, you can have yourself a C. But look what's right underneath the IB. So you got to be mindful of that. $49.16. Maybe. So the ticks would be good here if we got a... well, you're not going to get a continuation here because we're not far enough down. So you're late. There's that. You need that to break cleanly. Let me see it right here pretty clearly. so I can see that chop filter. Okay, so now we're going up towards high ticks. Well, there's going to be another little one in there. Coming up. It's be interesting to see if they do anything other than just go to the next golden zone. Nothing anywhere. I got nothing anywhere. Chop zone. Damn it, I probably just killed the live stream just so we can get some trading going. Well, I guess we chose wrongly today. We should have done the afternoon. But it was moving pretty well this morning. That's why we chose the morning. This has been a consistently dead period, 10:30 to noon. Dead, dead, dead. Well, today, what's today? Thursday, so, oh, shit. Well, maybe we'd go day at a time next week. Perhaps let's try one day in the afternoon, see if it's any better again. I'd be very surprised if we stay inside the IBs all day. But I've seen it before. Can't do anything with gold. It's got measured moves right below it. So the possible C was killed when we crossed here. But if you're, so we get a sell signal here from the edge, but you got this right there, so you can't, there's not enough there, and it would be, I think, just wishful thinking to assume you're going to break right through that, which you can assume is something like that. But still, you have to get through them. Otherwise, really, it's a buy. Where's the tick? Okay, so we're still in the chop zone. You can't get a... Well, you could get a C here, actually, but we'd be chop zone C. It's because we've gone green. If it pulls back, if that goes red again, that's going to fire a C. But, of course, we know what's sitting there. It's got to get through that. Now, if it gets through that, that could be more interesting. Same thing going on in the YM. It's at the exact same golden zone, but you're kind of late now. See, so and that's very typical, right? So by the time you get to and through the golden zone, you're at negative ticks. Right? If you're thinking on the short side, so you can't sell it now. See if they can hold it for the fourth time. Yep. So do you see the C just fired there? But you cannot sell right into a golden zone. Now, you got room to break it here. Fuck. You don't have a lot of room to go there. So you got the pre-market low right underneath it, right? So that's the next level. There'll be an algorithm there. Now, okay, so now we want this to not. So if this starts to go, we've got the potential for the C. Well, of course, we got that right there. All right, so that's happening everywhere on the board, so that's good. So the NQ is doing the same. So let's see, 49.16. Yeah, that's right. Good here. So potentially now, if we get a C, we can take that. Same thing with the NQ. Let's see, RTY. So everybody's turning around. RTY, nope, still on the buy side. Nice to get one decent trade here before the lunch hour. 10 minutes. Well, okay, now remember that this, you're going to be very vulnerable here to a little false break because there's a golden zone right there, so you got to be be careful about that, right? So you got to get through. You got multiples here. So here's a small one and a big one. When you see them like that, you know that's a very big one. And then I'd be watching for the 100 as well. There's the 100, so we broke it. Good. Possible C, but that's all you got. Same thing in the YM. There's a C right. Well, pardon me. There's a huge golden zone right at the IB low. So you're dangerous to do that. There is room below it. So here you got to be. What do you do, right? It's literally right at the IB low. You cannot sell that. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. I would never sell that because I've tried too many times before. But get below it. Well, you got lots of room on down here. Okay, so everybody's turning around. How about Bitcoin? Well, off the highs. Gold's going right to its golden zone. Who's got room? NQ has room. Well, no, I take that back. Son of a bitch. Nope, it doesn't. NQ, same problem. Right here, just below the IB, you got the central pivot. You got a big fat right there. When they're that far apart, you know that's a big one. So you got no room. Traffic. Gold, this will be interesting because we're just coming right. If we've gone from this golden zone, let's see what happens here at this golden zone. It's been kind of one of those days where wouldn't surprise me if we just get our reaction there. We just go golden zone to golden zone, but it'll be interesting to see. I just got a big fat target and an unfilled gap down here, so if this breaks, that's where they're, well, you're going to have to get through the low. And the IB low, let's watch it. So in, there goes the toe in. They're in, and they're out. Look at that reaction, right? I promise you guys, that's pure computer-driven algorithms buying there. Right? That's just like, you can watch it, same thing, right? Exact same thing. So thus, that's why I say you can't sell into that, right? Because you know there's going to be an algo there that's going to push it. If you don't know where those are, you are just blind to what's actually happening in the market. Okay, picking up steam. So, well, so if it gets through, we're potentially right. So you see the setup is here. We get back to this. If this, right, it has to begin somewhere, right? It was like that here. We're looking for the same thing here. So pretty. Oh, so gold broke that golden zone. Okay, so you got potentials for C's to set up there. They could be headed, if they break the IB low, well, there's room underneath. They're going to go after that gap. Next bounce, right, says level after level after level. So just hit the IB low, so you've got a double bottom, right? That's all that's happening there. So they just hit the IB low, so it's a double bottom. But if this will pull back a little, you'd have the potential C here now because we're out of the chop zone. RTY, boy, that's quite a turnaround from my missing that fill by a tick. It's been straight down ever since that. Okay, so if this will, what did we get? We got to the 127 138 window. So here's the next 50. Maybe we can let's show this baby well. See if this works. All right. So here's the golden zone it broke. I think it's a little hard to see. That's one thing with it. So here's the next 50. Right, there's the target. So as we broke this golden zone, now, so if this keeps going lower, it'll drag that down with it. It's kind of a nice feature. That's his favorite trade. So the sell zone would be right there. That's annoying, right? Isn't that annoying? Right there, you just want to sell that. Broke this side. Do I not have? Yes, I don't. Okay, so what are we running into there? That's a pretty good move. So that's a, get all this off here. It's too far to be from that one. This. I'm going guess no. That's from that IB low. There it is. All right, so if we, now, let's see, what, well, okay, so if we can get through that, here's the next support. Which, well, you can see that pretty clearly. All right, so we hit here, and let's give it that as well. So we got a nice little range there. So how much is there? If you can get through that, you're gonna bump your, you'll, now it could get through, but you're gonna get a reaction there. So there's 30 ticks there. There's nothing in its way. Look at the volume profile here. So this will, you got a little bit of a high volume node there, but so there's room underneath. That's it right there. But see, so that's the, this is the fatter one. Oh, so gold. I mean, gold loves a double bottom. It really does. Right, so all we do, right, it's just so IB to IB, right? But potentially now, okay, so there I could show it there as well. The little W tool. So we go up here. Here's the 65 that broke. So the next, so it's a little faint to see it, but so here's the 50, which is tied right here. There's the target. So you got, that's not bad actually. But to stay in sync with our tools here, you want that to come up. This would put, if it does that, you're going to be back in the chop zone. So this might be your better bet. So now you can, Maxi, so now you can use fib reversal. Well, you always could before, Maxi. It's just kind of an interesting way to, so if you don't want the fibs on your chart and you like to, so I think Baby Whale likes to, he likes to draw them himself. So that way you're kind of, it's more of a manual tactile approach to the fib pulls. Because I get so easily distracted with things that are going on in the day, I have to have it on the chart or I'll forget it's there. It looks like a bigger move than it is, but look, still just barely came out of the chop zone. So, but we don't have the potential, we don't have the little retrace that would trigger the C. But we are getting, so that's good news. So there's a break in gold, broke the IB. So that's, so you got a potential C setting up there. So all of these golden zones here, now they're getting tested. So some news, something just hit. Right, because everything just sold off together. So what do we got? It's just now noon. I mean news. Oh, so we're into the golden zone, right? So here's the big golden zone, right? For second dip into it. Second time's more vulnerable to break, but the same defense will be there. So, right. So if you don't know that's there, if you're a breakout trader, you're thinking, break that IB low. I want it, because you don't know that's there. But the possible C's are all setting up here. It's just what we wanted to have happen. Ooh, gold, really something just gold. That's too big a move. Jesus Christ, look at that. Wow. All right, so do you see how perfect that is? Swing, golden zone. Note, not the 618, 65. Going for the target. Just unbelievable. Okay, right. So here, same problem. That looks like that might be. Did we miss one there? So that would be yep. So there's that one. There's that target right at that structure we drew up before. boy, everybody now. So you got the NQ now challenging its IB low. Same problem. You got the golden zone sitting right there. So that's got this big one. That's a big one too. But everything's setting up now. If that breaks, right, we got room. It looks like it's through. Oof, that's close. It's a tick through. Look where the tick is. We're going to get a new low tick. I'll bet we will if that breaks. Now that could be because I got a sloppy pull there. Oh, that one's good. So that looks like that's through. Oof. I'd have to double check my pull, because if you're a tick off on the pull, that can make the difference there. It looks like I might be. So we actually want the little retrace here, so that'll give up the potential continuation. So maybe all of this whole morning won't be a loss here. So do you see how this has dragged that zone down with it? So the farther this goes, this is pulling that 50 down with it. Okay, so gold might be the first to set up for us. This is good. It's kind of what you just waited for an hour and a half for this to all happen. So now we're definitely through. Well, yeah, we're. Have to check that pull. Am I right smack dab on it? Looks like I am. Okay, we're clearly through now. All right, so we're through. Well, but you'd have to. You gotta quickly go to the next one. Let's see what happens there. Okay, keep an eye on gold. So the potential C is there now in gold. Yeah, let's get over here. Looks like that's going to keep going. So all of this, now we're out of the chop zone, right? So next C, we're taking everywhere we see it, everywhere we get one. They're all set up for it. This is interesting, starting to really break. I wish I knew something triggered that. If I get any news over here. Of course, we do know the ES, just bumped its head on a golden zone. Okay, now gold's, we don't want it to go too far, because that'll invalidate the potential C that's coming. All ripe. Everybody's ripe. Everybody's good for it. Just need to, now we don't want this to go all the way back here. That'll invalidate it. Keep an eye on gold. That could go first. You don't. Everybody else. Well, let's check the 3110. That's good. Oh, fuck. 5016. Gold's a 19.6. That's right. So we broke the other one too. So now we're coming right up to that structure. So that's the second break of a golden zone. So market very weak. So this one, there's the target right on that. Jesus. Okay, so the little pullback, just what we want. Check your bar size. Make sure that those C's are valid. This is a 5016. This is a 15.5, that's correct. The YM is 32.10. Okay. Okay, so you got your C just fired in gold. See if we can get some legs on that. You guys see that? Oh shit, I lost you guys. Hang on. I lose you guys when I go over here. Fuck, over here. Yeah, see in gold. There you go. Yep. So it just fired, set it up perfectly. Now you got the, so the next level you got the IB 100. It'll potentially, there's a reaction there. Okay, so there's a good move. All right, so it just accelerated. You see how fast that accelerated there? Let's get, and it just hit the IB shit. Just hit the IB 100. Try and get one there. Got it. Okay, so there's your IB 100. So you leave one on. There's an algo target down below, but you got the Jackson zone right there as well. You guys on that? Are you trading it? You could tighten up the stop now. So it hit. Do you see that it hit the target? The big 15-minute target just got hit. It's not liking it. So you got target. Now it's got the reaction now where they're starting to kick it back. No reason to bail yet. So you're to and through that target. Let's give that a little more room. Anybody on that? Anybody else take it? D. Wilton, you got it? GC, you guys get that? It's nice continuation trade. Well, fuck, we waited all day for it. Look at YM or the ES bouncing off that level. So I'd let it run. So there's S3. You might be looking there. Careful now. That's a potential. Yeah, that's a potential reaction zone. That's why they call it a Jackson zone. Action Jackson. Yeah, I'm going to take that there. Okay, so we got, I don't know, 78 there. It's not a bad, for a micro, that's not a bad trade. What are we doing over here? All right, so we went, well, that's interesting. We broke that one. So we want the next, here, let's clear this up. So this is the one that just broke, I think. This is the biggest one. Is that the, oh, god damn, look at that. 65 to the tick. Okay, so you got possible setups now in RTY and NQ, possible continuation trades. This one, same thing, right? But we're not. You need the white bar to set up the continuation, but you don't have it in the YM either. You could get another continuation in gold here. Edge is back in the Bollinger Bands. Well, that's decent. I hope you guys got that. Did some of you guys get all that? Baby Whale, not seeing your chart. I just see. Oh, you weren't seeing my gold? Well, I'm out of it now. But you got another potential. Well, shit, you don't need to see my chart, Baby Whale. You got your fancy monitor setup. You can see all 6 of them. I'll pull this over in a second, but potentially you've got another C that's setting there. But careful, because you note the steps. So you guys track that. Oh, hang on. Let me get this thing set. So if that fires again. Come back. All right. So we went 161 ticks here, but we only went 60 here. Right now we're crossed over. So you don't. This is good, but we don't want this to go too far. So now this is saying be a buyer. But that was, boy, that was, so this is what we got, right? So here's where the C fired. We got that. But as you came to that S3, so, you can get a reaction there. That's 100%. Oh, pardon me. That's, yeah, that is. So that's 100% from the pivot. But that rolls again. Well, you'd have to get back on the other side of the Bollinger Band, so it would take a big move. How about, so everybody else is good, right? So this, you got a possible setup here. Let's get this. So now we've gone green. So if that bumps into the IB and rolls over again, because this one you have room down here. Well, you got not as much. Let's get that off to the side. Not as much, right? That was always there. So would we hit that one? So you'd have to get down that far before it'd be any good. So the same setup is there now in all of them, right? So here, once you get the green bar, you've got the conditions for the continuation. This now, the edge. What nice run here. Where's the tick? So there's one tick break. So bears in control. You see how the W, the retracement indicator, it keeps pulling that 50 along? Right there it is, right there. So this would be, so this is a test to break the IB. Now if it rolls over here again, tradable. You'd have to call that a failed break because we didn't get too far from it. So it's an attempt. So here you can look here left. So that's going to be the resistance because we have a prior pivot there. So if that rolls again, we can take that. All right. So we're white here, all good. Where's the tick? It's takeable. There's room. You got at least till here in all of these targets. Let's clear this up. So you're in the chop zone here. That was the trade-off. Now this is all good, except we don't want the RSI to cross over the average because that'll negate the potential continuation. It's set up RTY, NQ, all of them. So but they're all kind of the same thing, right? Is that you'd have to call that a failure swing, not a true break. So, but the conditions are there for that to go again. All right, at least we got what looks like YM did a complete impulse down. Did it? What time frame? Yeah, it does, right? You're right. You could call that an impulse down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check that. Let's check the 1 from the 4. All right, 1272, very common. If it's not going to be the 100, and the 100 would have been prior to the low, that's your next target. So 2 to the 4 was a 50 to the tick. There's that target. That's nice, right? So again, there's some benefit of looking at it in a different, rather than the Renko bars. I've got this color coded to the wave. Oh shit, I better pay attention here. That's going to roll over again. I missed the trade. This would be the right spot for it. Where's the tick, right? It'd be nice to have that a little higher, but for 0 is enough. I will short that 50. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That looks appealing. Did anybody catch the news? Why we sold off? I can't see anything. Yeah, what kind of structure do we get? So if we get a nice little 3, well, so this is just what you want here. You want this to fail, right, to get back in. There's the 50. And you've got all, well, there, so here's what you had to work with right there. It was right at that 50, because that's, so remember we were looking at that, this was the support all morning. So if we draw that up, there's your resistance. Now I think if I do that, this one's, ah, shit. One of them, I have it set to where it stays on all charts. But I think it's on the 15-minute ones. Oh, shit. Ah. Missed the follow-on in gold. It was a perfect measured move, too. Shit. Well, we didn't get a C there, but you got a nice little measured move. So maybe that'll set up the others. Went right to that S3. You can't get a C now because it's crossed inside of the RSI. But, well, fuck, you can get an X. That's a pretty good sell-off in gold. That's not without news. So something is driving the market here. Both the wave and the edge are both saying not yet. Whew. That is dumping. Grab. So we got the edge gave you one. Let's see if we can get a little momentum on that. Maybe not. So you see the wave just crossed the RSI, but we're doing it in dark red. It's not as ideal. So I'm not surprised we're getting a little bounce here. You got the IB 200 there as well. So we got to survive the retrace here. Potentially you could get it. No, you don't have a white bar yet for a C. But boy, that fell pretty hard. Something triggered that. Well, you got everything red. You're below the RSI, so it would be the cross. How are we doing over here? There we go. There we go. Got the first one out. So so now I've just got a target at the R4. Remember, that's the 138 from the pivot. Oh, here, I can bring it over. Come here. I got to drag that across a lot of monitors. So here was the signal. So that I grabbed 2 there. First one was out at the IB 200. Trying to get the 138 here, so just reasonable target to see if we can get that. Now, if this crosses over, if that goes green, then I want to bail, or if either one of them. So where's the structure? Right there. Right, so we can bring this down. And there's a golden zone there. So potential C, actually, so I go back to 1. Let's get that. Fuck. That's gold for the potential C. That's MES over here for the potential C here. You see that? Right, so we held that. That's good news. Got a possible C firing here in gold, maybe. We'll see. Same thing with NQ and RTY, although they popped. RTY is back in the IB, so not as good as this that failed here. Right, we're gonna get it. Where's the tick? Ah, fuck. 442, not as good. That's too low. All right, 0, yes. Oh, that's annoying. There's the tick. Okay, that's a little better. There's a little room. I think it's going to come first in the RTY or the NQ. You could get a C. No, you can't. Not in gold. Let's just cross it back over. Okay, so these actually would be good here now. Jeez, you're right into a fucking golden zone. Shit. Same thing with the. God damn it! They're right there. You can't take them. You can't take that into a golden zone. Here, you're better here actually. So you got the little one. Fuck. Same problem in the NQ. You got a golden zone right there. Right there. RTY, same thing. You got no room. God, that's annoying. This, because of the break, I think you could take. Right, you got room here at least to S1. There's the C firing in the NQ and the RTY right into a golden zone. Now let's get this one to fire. This one, we got a little support here. Oh wait, I want this one too. Ah, come on. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's sell it. Okay, so reasonable targets here. So there's the C firing. All right, everybody says we're good here, so we got low ticks. Fortunately, gold is completely reversed, so we got everything we could get out of that. Now, did we get any follow through here? 451. It's not ideal. So now we got to survive the recycle. So gold said that was enough for the day. So that's a pretty big reaction off this. So luckily we got that one. So you're all the way back. You went from the IB 200 all the way back to S2, where you got a little resistance there. Now, can we get any follow through here? So we got to get through. We got to get through the recycle here without getting stopped out. So that's pretty tight. But that's where you want to stop, just on the other side of the IB. And that's the bar that triggered it. Pretty good turnaround in gold. That's a big move off of that low. Yeah, no follow through. So we made the first recycle, but now that's right. If that goes up again, that'll get that. If we pull a high tick, that won't survive. But it may not yet. So all of this says right stay. The only thing different here is now we're into white here. So okay. So now if we make the loop, so that's good. We survived that. Got to get below 0. Come on. Is there any structure we're running into here? I don't think so. What are we missing? What are we missing? I don't see anything that's a problem. So that's good. Now if we can get It's all good, right? All right, everything right where we should be. Low risk. We're through this one. Pull this down a little further. If we're going to do it, let's see if we can get something out of it. You got, so you can, if you look at the RTY and the NQ, you can see why that was problematic, right? So they just went right into the mouth of that golden zone, and then they just stalled. This is our best bet here in the ES. So you've got a little support. So you know this is the built-in auto support and resistance that Baby Whale built into our auto fibs. So that's just telling me I've got to pivot. I got to get through there. You guys know that, right? That's built into the auto fibs. That's the structure. So something over here. So it's this and this, right? So that's what we got to get through. So can we? Well, this is support, right? So this is actually what it's triggering. It's the resistance right here. It's the pivot that's right there. Okay, so we just did a minus 400, so now we gotta get through the next recycle. That's a pretty tight stop. Not giving that a lot of room. But it's good practice. Put it right. So you don't want to be on the IB. So a couple of ticks off of it, right tied to whatever triggered the C. Because if it's not going to go here, if this rolls back the other direction, then we just bail and wait for the next chance to go for it. So if it stalls at 0 here, that would be good for this trade. We're not back in the Bollinger Bands. That's positive. You actually could get another C here. Not sure I get the difference between the auto fibs and the measured move. Okay, so it's a good question, Wallet. So the auto fibs are going to draw from every pivot that's current. So all of these are tied to what's happening. Well, these are all going to be tied to wherever there's a pivot. So you're going to have this one and this one. That's why you have the cluster here. Shit, hang on a sec. The measured move is, well, here, let me put it on. It waits until you get into that zone and then move away from it, where it's going to show you the trigger. So it's showing completed measured moves. Now, so this, if you were to go back and do a replay, there would be the auto fibs would be there for you. It's not going to show you the measured move until you get far enough away from it. You can see here that, well, so we're hitting, so we're just hitting an algo target right there, right? So we just triggered it. It's likely this one. I'll tell you when we see what happens here. We'll be able to go back and see what that's pulling from. So here's so it just showed that because we got enough distance from it. So right here now already this becomes a problem. So do you see we're not getting any drive here, as in continued selling. So this is buying, selling, right? So the buy programs are just going one side, next side, one side, next side. There's no continuation here. So it's going right to minus 400, then up to 400. You see 400 to the tick. It's going up, coming down. Now we need this. We need to get a minus. We need to get a new low tick here, like a 900, for this to really pay. There's not a lot of conviction. So what's the market doing? So the YM is down 5. God damn it! Hang on. Sorry guys, it's my wife calling me. Pretty good move off of that golden zone in the ES. 51. Let's see. Well, same story in the RT1. God damn it. Hang on, guys. This must be for some reason. That's 5 calls. She wants something. I think she's pocket dialing me. Okay, so how's our trade doing? All right, better. Oh, son of a bitch. Pocket dialing. She's at the park with the dogs and she's pocket dialing me. All right, sorry guys. All right, so how we doing here? Fuck, come on. We'll try and get that first one out. Come on, guys. Come on. All right, it's always within ticks, right? So we're pushing our luck here. Oh my God. Turn my ringer off, but it rings on my phone or on my watch. All right, come on, baby. We can tighten this down a little bit. So overstaying our welcome maybe a little bit here. So if we do a full cycle, well, let's pump this up just a bit. Oh my God. All right, come. Oh Jesus. Let's hope we don't have the same thing happen to us as the RTY. Pushing it, pushing our luck here. This all says stay with it. It's better, right? So it's small dollars. It's better to think of it in terms of points, right? So we got 4 points, right? That's the thing with micros. You're like, oh, we're fucking around for $20, but it's more the just getting used to it. Say, okay, so I got a 5-point move off of that. Holy smokes, man! She's pocket dialing me and doesn't know she's doing it. You did get the same thing in the. You do have. Well, you got a C, and let's take that. We got the same thing going on in the arts in the YM. See if we can get some action out of that. You could take this same trade. We may have overstayed our welcome here. Let's see. So potentially, do you see we've got divergence here? £6, 7 points. This is a decent trade. So now we're back to 376. Yeah. So gold's a good example of overstaying your welcome, right? So now it's a buy in gold. Oh, that is a golden zone right there. So they had enough in gold, enough selling. maybe you get the 100 there. How are we doing over here? Okay, so you got the NQ just tagging that golden zone right here. Double bottom, dangerous, right? Dangerous. Potential, like, so you had the C, just nowhere to go. And I think we've overstayed our welcome here. Now, if they can get underneath those golden zones in RTY and NQ, there's room. Not a lot, but there's some. It's feeling like we stayed too long here. Could be wrong. Hope I am, but I got a feeling we just overstayed our welcome there. All right, so now we're -2 points. This is all saying stay with it. So the C was profitable. We just went for more than the market wanted to give. That's the second one we missed by a couple of ticks. So that's likely all she wrote here on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, so the bad news is look how much room they've got to go to the next 50. This is either turns here and we go back down, or this is going to scream. We are absolutely on the wrong side here. Do you see what I'm seeing there? All the room they've got to go to get back into the algo. Best case here is that the IB low holds it. That's your best case. Stayed too long. Yep. Stayed too long there. So you can kind of see the nice divergence there. Still, everybody here, right? Not saying stay short. Just done this long enough. That trade's cooked. That's going to get stopped. So we'll know, so the YM is testing the IB low right now. If that gets through, then you can be almost guaranteed that this will get through. So now from nice winner turns into a loser. Same thing. You can overstay. All right. That's why you can't sell that. Right? Double bottom at a golden zone. Doesn't matter what's happening down here. That rules. That dictates. Where are we in the ticks? Okay, so they got too much room here. They got plenty of room to get up. Gold can't make up its mind what it wants to do. So you got a nice 3 that went up, but no sell signal yet. Well, let's see here. So we've got divergence here, but we are still says stay short. This still says stay short. I got a 15.5, so everything is good here. We just got to ride it out. So hopefully we survive the next high tick, although it doesn't look likely to me. This would have to go all the way back down. Maybe, right? These are really, really negative. $52 in the ES, pretty good move lower.